Let me just verify. I don't have verification yet. I don't know. Well, we probably are on.
Crank it up, fucker!
No, stop it. Stop it. That's rude. Okay, we're on. I think, apparently. Okay, welcome to Comic Book Wars, episode 14, the Comic Book Speculation podcast. I'm Jimmy Linguini, obviously, and these are everybody else. Why don't you guys start introducing yourselves?
Hey, what's up? It's Sleepy John. I got even worse news for you, Jimmy. I thought the movie was already started. Apparently, it's just at the beginning of Swordfish, so I don't know how long I'm going to last. I'll give it a little bit, but when he starts getting into the part about making the ball-bearing bombs, I'm probably going to be out. I got to watch that. It's a great movie.
Swordfish isn't as good as Snake Eyes, though. Remember Snake Eyes?
The G.I. Joe character?
No, the Nicolas Cage one, where he's like, I have snake eyes.
No, I'm pretty sure that was in G.I. Joe.
Does Halle Berry take her top off in Snake Eyes?
I feel like you get a topless Nicolas Cage, and I think that's just as good, really, when you think about it.
Ooh.
I'm Nico with comicbookspeculation.com, and I'm attempting right now to change the subject.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Well, I guess the big news this week, thanks for that, is Rob Liefeld going crazy again, right?
This guy's always in the news, though, now. It seems like he can't stay out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about it that much, if at all. But apparently he's off of Youngblood, because was Youngblood even still published as a comic book?
Yeah. It was,
when was the last time an issue of Youngblood came out?
2018.
Really?
Yeah, he had like 11 issues or something. It was published by Image, I believe. Yeah, it was. So it was a new series, and then apparently, like when he started his studio, he had a partner who was able to give him some money, and that guy sold his rights in the Youngblood name and toys and whatnot. And so this other guy came on and was like, Rob Liefeld didn't even know. And I guess he was talking to this guy, his friend who had sold his part of his business or whatever. And this other guy who was there that he sold it to was like, this is the best part of the whole story. He's like, yeah, you should, I'm going to give you a chance to work on this comic, Youngblood. I can make you as popular as Todd McFarlane. And like this wasn't like 10 years ago the way I'm reading it. This was just like recently, which is hilarious. Like, I don't know how much this guy knows about comics, but to say that to Liefeld, could you imagine his face when he said that to him?
Oh, Liefeld was probably he was probably interested, being as popular as. I would imagine he'd be complimented by it. No, like wouldn't he want to be as popular as Todd McFarlane?
Really? He created Deadpool,
he probably thinks he is beyond Todd McFarlane.
He thinks he is. Oh, he is. He's like, he probably told him, "Can you make Todd McFarlane as popular as me?" That's the real. Yeah, that's how what's that saying? The devil tricked whatever. Yeah.
When I got back into comics, I was digging through the dollar bin and. Over at a local shop in southeastern Ohio, and I was like there for a while, and there was a couple. I think it was a couple, and the dude was dressed like Walker Texas Ranger.
Had like a
he had like a very thin mustache and like the fucking jacket and like a cowboy hat and shit, which like you don't see a lot of that. It's fucking Ohio. And
did he look like Walker or like Mac from Always Sunny?
It's a good fucking question. He looked like a little bit of both. But anyway, the point is, I was like, I'm kind of bored. I'm trying to be polite. And I was like, hey, man, anything you want me to pull for you? Because I got like a fucking stack. And we were just like aimlessly looking. And I think it was this girlfriend. I don't know if it was like I don't know who the fuck she was, but he's like, I am a fan of Youngblood. And I'm thinking to myself, like, I mean, I just got back into comics. Maybe there's something I'm missing. And I'm like, Youngblood, like, he's like, Rob Liefeld's Youngblood. I like all of the properties from Extreme Studios. And then he started rattling them off. And it was like in that moment that I knew that there was like somebody that will fucking buy anything.
That's
Like,
weird. You sound like that when you did that accent. You sounded exactly like Keanu Reeves in Youngblood when he's like that French Canadian goalie. You know what I mean? You know what I mean.
Youngblood's a movie name of a.
What do you mean? Yeah, Youngblood. It's that hockey one with Rob Lowe, and they're playing hockey.
No.
And then they
I like Rob Liefeld's Youngblood.
And the one guy gets like raped in the bathroom. I think that's what happens in the change room. I think that's what happens. Isn't that what happens in Youngblood?
What do you watch?
Sounds terrible.
It's Youngblood with Rob Lowe. What do you mean?
Usually
there's
it's
only
Rob
so many
Liefeld
hockey movies. I think that's what
raping
happens.
his fans.
Something bad happens in the
Mercy.
change room. I think that's what happens. I don't remember.
He's raping their eyes with his art usually.
Well, it's just a weird name for a movie, so whatever. Whatever.
Okay.
I don't care.
So
All
did
I
you-
know is that's what you guys wanted to talk about. Apparently,
But
that's big news.
thanks for
According to
listening.
you guys.
We'll catch you next week. So go on. Did you get him some books or what? Or did
Oh
you
yeah,
order
dude! I
them
just
for
fucking
yourself?
started pulling out stacks of like weird ass Extreme Studios titles. You know what I mean?
I
I was like, "Here you go, dude!" And he fucking started filling up like first a short box, now a long box, and like spent hundreds of dollars
Oh my God.
on. Yeah, it's like this is wonderful. I was just like,
And the store was
Okay.
like, I thought we would never get rid of those.
no. I think that the lesson from all of this is they sell shit like that all the time, and there's somebody who will buy that trash all the time. And it's why like retailers don't really give a fuck whether or not they lose customers, you know, who are like moi, because they can sell shit like that to the fucking people that walk around with like I've got 35 pops under one arm, and you know what I mean, like yeah.
So Liefeld posted that on his Facebook, I think, and then he also had to get like
The world
his
will never
couple-
be the same.
his couple remarks in there as to how he's the greatest dude ever. He said, like, you know, even last week I had somebody ring me up about doing a Youngblood movie, but I just couldn't devote my time to it. So I was just like, oh my God, dude.
Oh my god.
This guy, I feel bad for his family. Like, do they realize like he's crazy, or are they?
Yeah, well, obviously,
all
but
in
I
the
think they
same-
all are just like banking on the life.
Yeah, they're like, just let Dad have his little Facebook rants. You know,
Here comes Phase 5, Ryan Reynolds. Woohoo!
the checks are
Chang.
still cashing. Yeah.
It's weird, but
Oh shit.
yeah, you see that like the Antarctic Press movie a book is apparently being optioned into a movie. I saw a bunch of people posting about that.
What book?
It's like It Will See the Light or something. The creator has his own variant cover for it that he's been pushing for the last few weeks, so it just seems a little suspect. But I mean, that's something. It Will See the Light, #1 from Antarctic Press.
Just came out last week.
It came out this month at some point. I'm not sure when, but the creator on Twitter said, that it's going to be a movie. I doubt it, but that's what he's saying. Like, it's usually creators who saying like it's been optioned or I signed the. They don't say it's going to be a movie. So I don't know. It's interesting.
Maybe it will. Maybe it'll be like Rotten Tail. You know that one?
Rotten Tail
No,
was a movie.
I have no idea what either of these things are.
Rotten
Rotten
Absolutely
Tail
no idea.
was a movie.
just came out.
Yeah, SourcePoint said I could do a variant for it, and they sent me the artwork, and I said pass.
Wait, they sent you the art already? You didn't get to pick? Or you mean the art for the...
Yeah, no, they sent me the art for
comic.
the cover, and they said there's only going to be 3 covers, and we already did 2, and this is our last one. And I said, no, I don't want this. Are you kidding me?
It's amazing.
I don't think I said that. I think I just ghosted them, which is what I
That's
do. I
weird.
just ghost people. But it is what it is.
Hmm.
Rotten Tail happened. It was a movie, so we'll see if this Antarctic Press thing ever happens. I mean, it's interesting. I mean, maybe it's a book to buy. I don't think so. I mean, again, there's a limited to 300 black and white store variant.
Could be the next Riptide.
Well, I mean, people are really hardcore pushing Riptide. I'm not really sure what the big deal is with that.
Jim's
I'm not
Comics.
sure. I'm not sure why people.
That he liked the book, and then
No,
it
Jim
fucking went-
Comics.
Whatever.
Was it Jim Comics who started it? Because I
Absolutely.
I saw it on a bunch of lists.
We blame,
and
yeah,
that's where I
after
thought it
him.
came
He
from.
was first.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. No, I mean, I don't think he really pump and dump stuff, but I do believe that
No, but
there
people
are
just
definitely
love his
nefarious
shit.
people that pump and dump stuff. But I mean, yeah, no, he's a good guy.
I don't know, but people love his shit. So he mentioned it on like a Sunday or something, and then the following, like, I don't know, Monday morning, it was already starting to, like trek up, and it was on a steady upward swing for like the next 7 days.
That's interesting.
Yep.
Well, so this week there's a few books that are hot.
Yes, Jimmy has graphics.
Yeah, I do. I have graphics, so we can do this.
I like that one better.
But yeah, so there's a few books that come out this week that are kind of hot that seem to be performing well online to some degree. I guess the big one that I think is Dead End Kids from Source Point Press seems to be moving for whatever reason. It seems to be hitting like $20 to $30. At least it was when I looked at it a day or two ago. It sold out at Diamond 2 weeks ago. It's weird, but yeah. So that's definitely a book that people are going to be wanting to grab this week. As is.
Did you read it?
I mean, I could have. I have a digital copy of it. I haven't read it.
John, did you read it?
No, I haven't read it. I'm not cool like Jimmy. I don't have insider links.
Did any of your LCSs get it early?
Not that I know of.
I know that like there were some shops that were distributed it early.
When, like last week?
Last week.
Like lots of stores, or just
I don't know.
like the regular one, or just store variants?
They got the regular A covers by Diamond inadvertently, I think.
Like the book was supposed to. The book was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago, but it was pushed back for whatever reason. So it's possible that that happened.
Is it a mini?
Yeah, it's a 4-part miniseries.
Oh.
So I don't know if it has very long legs, but it does seem to have a small window of opportunity where you're going to be able to flip them.
Was Riptide a mini?
Riptide was a mini, but weren't there numerous minis or something, and then variant covers or something, and like second prints that people say are low or something?
Oh, fucking!
Just
I just know it was like
prints.
a year ago.
Yeah, they did second prints for the first 2 issues, I think. And I'm pretty sure it was 4, 5, or 6 issues total. I don't know.
Riptide's one of the few minis that I can think of in the last year.
But people have been putting it on lists like this week. What's up with that?
What's that?
Riptide. Haven't people been putting it on lists this week?
Yeah, because of the Jim Comics.
This week?
Yeah, this
like
past
2 weeks ago.
The fucker? What are you guys going? Where have you been? No, Riptide has been pushed for months by random
and
people.
then it was hot. It was forgotten about. It was hot.
Oh, and then it was redone. Okay, that's okay.
No,
I was wondering why, like originally.
Hey, Riptide's going to be a TV show or a movie. Look, I'm Jim Comics.
I don't know.
And then fucking people started buying it again.
Yeah, Jim Comics said to buy Coyote #1 from Image Comics.
How'd that one do?
I don't know.
Thumbs #1 too.
I didn't buy Thumbs. I think he's Coyote, so we'll see.
I think he's friends with the writer. That was the video he did with Nick.
Interesting.
He was being ambiguous about it. He was being like and we'll just be like that too. Like how Mel just like, oh, go watch that video, then you'll find out what happened.
Yeah. What a dick.
What about this Coffin Bound? It was selling for like $10 already, right? It comes out tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw it was selling for at least double
Image
cover.
Comics.
It's already gone to second print. Retailers were sent an ash can. There's also a convention exclusive ash can that was like limited to 400 that sold at a few conventions, but I think they were all like really overseas because the creators are from Greece. So I think it was at like Greece Comic Con or something. Yeah, so it's cool.
That's surprising it went to second print because it's fully returnable.
It could be the next Little Bird.
Was Little Bird returnable?
I don't know, but Little Bird did well like the first few weeks. Look, where is it now? It might be selling above cover now, but like nothing really.
I don't know.
Nothing really to write home about.
Yeah, there's not many books that really hold. But
yeah, Little Bird took a shit, dude.
One that has.
What, you have to go take a shit, dude?
Nope, Little Bird took a shit, dude.
Oh, okay, I thought you had to pause.
Little Bird took a shit on.
That was a bird shit.
And then I was going to be like, what? That was a bad joke. I'm going to put this up whenever you make a bad joke.
Is that the face you make when you take a shit?
Yeah, it is. I'm actually pooping right now.
So his pants are still on when that happens.
Weird guys.
Poop jokes never. It's hard to not laugh at a poop joke.
But yeah, when you're talking
It's
about
not cool to pee your pants.
But you're talking about what's hot and what's hot this Wednesday.
Yeah, what's hot this Wednesday? So we were saying, usually these independent books don't last too long in terms of having a value bump. One that did was Die, and that is the new arc is coming out this week, number 6. It's been on a little bit of a hiatus because they went back to write the next arc. It's already announced for a second print, and it was selling for about $10 pre-sale, which is crazy. Because
you think that's gonna stay? Like, you think that's
no? Like, why are people paying $10 before it even came out? It's not a number 1. That's crazy to me. Like, Little Bird number 1 makes sense because it's a number 1. This is issue number 6. It's just
what about Immortal Hulk number whatever the fuck?
That's Marvel. Marvel doesn't make sense. Either does DC speculation. When it comes to Image, though,
or any independent,
an issue 6. I mean, that one spread book that has like Ghost on the back cover selling like above cover. Fine, that makes sense. People are going to jump at it for like the next few days. It's not. I don't see that lasting. Did you say first appearance?
With the spread book, right?
It's not first appearance. It's like third appearance or fourth appearance.
What the fuck ever. It's an appearance.
It's a nothing book. That's just a blip on the radar. That's never.
The point is, it's a first appearance. That's why.
Nobody's saying it's a first appearance.
Jimmy, I'm not trying to fucking argue with you. I care very little about whether anything to do with Ghost, anything to do with when he fucking appeared, it appeared, or whatever.
Whatever.
Please believe that in your heart. If you believe anything, 0%.
The guts. Did the guts appear first or the ghost? It was chicken or egg, right?
So there is one book.
But the point being, independent books, it's number 1 or done, right? We would all agree about that. That actually is important.
Yeah. For most independent books, yes, because they're not of the same type of story as superhero books, where you bring a superhero in later.
With
these
the
are
rare exception of, say, I don't know, Hellboy's first appearance in Next Men. What, Jimmy? It's not his fucking first appearance. Like, I don't really care. It's an illustrative point.
That was a good impression.
Isn't it his first color appearance?
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Appearance.
Yeah.
The point being, I think that might be the only like mild speculation with respect to this one, new arc. Maybe there'll be a new character. Who cares?
Yeah.
Do you like my hand signals?
I mean, I know people have said that it's optioned for a TV show and that it hasn't been announced yet, and there's rumblings of that.
By people, you mean Nick from the Key Collector app.
Is it Nick from Key Collector? Because I've seen Nick say it.
Nick put it out.
I've seen other people say it too, though. So maybe that's
I've heard it from other people.
I don't know, to be honest with you, but I find that interesting. Another book that comes out this week that isn't necessarily hot, but I just think is like really kick-ass is this Simon Bianchi Savage Avengers 1 in 25. Yeah. I couldn't find a trade dress one, but I really like it. I don't know why.
I saw it. I like it too.
It might not sell for.
His face is kind of goofy, but I like it.
It might not sell for anything, but it was pretty
selling
cool.
For about 20, and it's 1 in 25.
Yeah. So
the first sale, like somebody just threw it up for $10 because they're probably trying to get rid of inventory. But his face looks kind of weird. He's got like a chipmunk face going or something. But I like the artist. He does great stuff.
Yeah, he has like kind of a constipated face on. Like a nice one of these, but I like it. I don't know why. Maybe it's the guns and then like these random grenades that are like I don't know, some balls on his chest
behind him. He's like, oh, it blew up right behind me.
So I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else coming out this week that's noteworthy? Oh yeah, of course.
What?
Well, the Dark Age comes out. Dark Age #1. It's sold out at Diamond. The publisher said earlier today. But that book was optioned in May. That they said there was going to be a TV series, and there was only an ash can at the time, and a few people launched onto it when that happened. So I mean, it was
Yeah.
pretty predictable that this book was going to sell out and be a good book. So I'm sure most people, or a lot of speculators, have pre-ordered copies of this one.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, you're right,
TMNT.
because I read the premise of it and I was like, I have no interest in this, so I'm not even gonna buy it.
You looked kind of
speculate on.
dumbfounded though when I said that it was optioned. Did you?
Now that you say that, it was it's about like King George era or something, isn't it?
I don't. I see all
was
these
like a
covers with
medieval-
like people holding Canadian flag shields or something. I don't know. There's a few
No,
store
no,
variants
no.
and stuff. Probably because again it was optioned and there's a lot of hype behind it.
Yeah, there's they gave
A
one
1 in
away at
10.
SDCC at a panel.
What a store variant?
No, there was a SDCC panel variant selling
Oh.
for like $60-$80 or something.
And that would have been the second one because there was one way back in the day. By that
Well,
I mean like
again in May.
3-4 months ago. May.
Yeah, I think it was when it was optioned. There was only one thing that you could, and then there was the free comic book day thing after that Ashcan, which I guess would be the first appearance or whatever. Who knows? Who knows, man? There's also a free comic book day Gut Coast, but I don't see a lot of people talking about that. I see them jumping on other books. So whatever, it's a joke. But I think that's it for books.
Hold
this
on.
week.
Well, there's a
No,
couple
it's-
other ones, right?
I lied.
TMNT 95 second prints. I think there'll be.
Oh, the
No,
second
okay.
print comes out this week.
Yeah, it does.
I noticed
Yeah.
it's sitting about $5 to $6.
I think there'll be a ton of them. I don't know if
What?
they'll dry up or how that'll all go.
What is 96 selling for this week? Do we know? Is it selling above cover even?
It was
I-
selling
I
at like
don't hear-
6, I think. It went from selling for 15 in pre-sale to 9 when I had copies. So
I saw
Wasn't great.
sets being pre-sold for like $35. Like, it's crazy how nobody's even talking about it anymore. Did people not care, or did they put out like too many store variants for 97? Or also there's all these
And
rumors
96.
now.
well, there's a few
Yeah, there's a
issues
few.
we have.
Few for 96. I see a lot of rumors about the solicitations and what they mean because
Well,
they're saying somebody might die.
it seems like
I don't
people
think-
have a lot of money invested in 95 because I
Yeah.
saw a lot of people are trying to push 95 as the first full appearance when it's obviously just a cameo appearance. So
Yeah.
I think that's some of the issues where there might be some of these big bull players in the market saying, hey, 95 is the first full appearance, 96 is irrelevant, whereas 96 is obviously the first full. I mean, a first
Right.
appearance is a first appearance, but obviously 95 is the cameo and 96 is the first full appearance, and
Same as-
97 is going to be
Same as
assumed to be the
51, 52.
no, but those are a different character, right? And then 97 is assumed to be the first time she has the yellow bandana, right?
Right.
Because that's what
When she joins the team.
So
Mhm.
I see how people are going to launch onto all of these books. I did see a few of the limited to 500 store variants sold out like within a day of being posted. So I'm not sure what that really means in the long run. But the print runs, I think, are going to be a lot higher for 97. And I think 96 and 95 are the books to go for. 96 more so than 95 because it's obviously a first full. But who knows?
Yeah. I mean, if you can get 95 at under $10, I think that's probably where you want to go. The other two, I think, will go back down to cover price at some point, besides the store variants, obviously. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out because if they go back down to like 4 characters and one of them's her, I can't imagine them doing that though. I think there's too much money wrapped up in stuff other than comic books for them to kill off a character permanently.
Well, it seems like Kevin Eastman at least said that they've been working on this for years, right? So I don't
Yeah.
see it being like a 3-issue thing that just goes away. I mean, I think he's on record of saying that this character is supposed to stick around inside of the universe. So we'll see where it goes. I'd be very surprised though if he killed him off, like some people are trying to push. I think people are really pushing it so they can get cheaper prices though. So we'll see.
Could be. Yeah.
But,
It's a dirty game.
Well, speaking of Turtles, how about that Turtles 1 original series is sold for $90,000 for 98?
Well, I mean-
man, that upset a lot of people saying like, why are people buying this for that much? It's not your problem, dude. Why do you care what people pay for something? Oh, they shouldn't be buying that for that. Yeah, you know what? They did though. What are you gonna do about it? I think what got people so upset is the last one sold for under 40,000 in last year, and it like the past. So let's see, since 2013, one sold for 13,000, 2017, 27,500, 2018,
But
38,000.
how many 9/8s are there?
Under 20, I think. I think it's actually lower than that. I want to say maybe a dozen.
Under 20, and that many are being sold though. That sounds like a lot of 9/8 copies are being sold for that.
I didn't check the census, but from what I understand, there for a long time there was not a 9/8 on the census, and people were thinking there wouldn't be because same as like Cerebus #1.
Cerebus, yeah.
Cerebus. Apparently that one just from what I was reading is Dave Sim picked out all the best copies and none of those even got 9/8.
He did pick out all the best copies. That's true.
And I don't think any of those, at least the ones that have been graded that he picked out, have never gotten a 9/8. So the Turtles book is somewhat similar. It's probably on a little bit better paper though.
And then then CGC bought the pressing company, and then the guy who was in charge of pressing became the main grader, and they started doing 9/8s of it. And they started becoming lenient with books.
Something on my throat here.
I mean, I'm just thinking.
Which book are you talking about? Turtles or
all these books where like 9/8s have suddenly turned up, and I mean, we can also look at that Action Comics 1. That was like the highest graded one that just miraculously showed up. That was really like a regrade. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on at CGC I don't necessarily agree with.
Press.
Hey, speaking of which, you remember that Action Comics 1 and how they had like a QV code on it? You remember there was a QV code? You remember those
QR code?
Yeah, a QR code where you could just like click it with your take a picture of it and it would bring you somewhere to show the whole to validate it. You remember that?
Oh
no.
CGC. Well, it did. CGC never then did that on any other books. I just find that really interesting.
Hmm.
You know what I mean though? Like those picture things that you take a picture of and then it goes to something.
It's like a Magic Eye.
Yeah,
I still haven't gotten one
like
to work
a Magic
for me
Eye.
yet though. Yeah, I've never gotten one to work yet.
Like it's a sailboat?
You have to get an app or something.
No, it's a schooner, dude.
Oh, you're talking about the Magic Eye thing. Whatever. Yeah. But I feel like that is it though for the Wednesday Warrior. No, it isn't. I keep thinking that this week is a pretty big week for Wednesday Warrioring. But also it's a pretty big week for comics. Like we already just went through a bunch of books that are already selling well. But another book that comes out that is really highly anticipated is the Absolute Carnage #1 finally comes out on the heels of the Free Comic Book Day Maximum Carnage book.
Yeah, that book's huge too.
So would I buy any copies of it?
In terms of the thickness of it? Or are you saying popularity?
Thickness.
Well, there seems to be a lot of copies out there, a lot of store variants, and a lot of ratio variants that have pushed retailers into ordering tons of copies. So I'm not sure what that... I mean, there's a red blank variant as well. It's like, that's a 1 in 25 or 1 in 50 or something stupid?
It's a 1 in 200 red blank cover. Why would they make a 1 in 200 blank cover?
And
that's the stupidest thing I ever heard of.
Am I wrong in thinking that it's hot? No, but it's not even on blank paper, right? Like you can't sketch on it. It's just on red. It's on the regular red paper, from what I've heard.
Oh God, are you serious? Just on regular glossy paper?
What's the fucking Cates variant ratio?
Why would they do that?
The Cates variant is a Midtown comic exclusive. Yeah,
it's gonna be one person buys to every one person that buys. That's the ratio on it. And then the how many were printed is, don't worry, they will still be there next year for you to buy. Dude, that cover is, boy.
It looks like something I drew in fucking 8th grade when I thought I was going to be a comic book artist. But good for Donnie Cates, dude. I've never met that guy, but I'm just saying, fucking MVP.
I hope you do meet him, because I want you to get a video of him saying that this is his favorite podcast.
Oh, if he watched our podcast, we'd absolutely be his favorite podcast. What the fuck else is he going to watch?
I saw
Nico and I are pretty upset because Pee Wee Herman canceled an upcoming convention.
Yeah, Heath's going to be at that show. He's set up.
Who's the artist on Maximum Carnage?
What's his
You
face?
mean
Brian
Absolute
Stegman.
Carnage?
Stegman.
Yeah, Stegman has his own podcast now.
Yeah, I did see
He
that.
should definitely come on this podcast.
Yeah, to promote it. Yeah, you're right. I agree.
Yeah.
He needs our audience.
He needs to
Yes.
come on here to
I agree
promote
with you.
his podcast. Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah. And then he's going to say our podcast is the best while he's promoting his own.
Makes sense.
Yeah. What do you think of that? The only thing that interests me about that Absolute Carnage.
I thought we were talking about
and
Paul Rudd or what's his name? Paul Rubin canceling at the Comic-Con
Well,
we
Comic
were
Con.
just talking about
in
people
Pittsburgh.
Oh, you guys are going to be at a
Video.
Pittsburgh Comic Con? Are we doing a Comic Book Wars meetup?
No. But we were going to be there for the sole purpose of meeting none other than Pee Wee Herman. But then he canceled. My heart is
What's the
broken.
name of that show?
Steel City Con.
Oh, is that the one where the guy?
You went to it before.
Is that the one
right?
where the guy who founded it murdered his wife, and then he left Michigan, and they found him like 13 years
Jesus
later, and then he
fucking
sold it to Wizard.
Christ.
Oh no, you're right. That was Wizard World Philadelphia because he sold it to Wizard World. You're right.
No, that's different.
Yeah, there's like that 60 Minutes documentary. That's a good documentary. He like
That's a
killed her in the
lot.
comic book store, but he didn't steal enough money, so it didn't really look like a burglary, so it wasn't convincing. And like only like really expensive comics were stolen, like only 2. So
Wow.
yeah.
That just happened this year where the only really expensive comics were taken to a store.
But
Was there a dead body this time?
yeah.
Not that I know of.
Was that
Yeah, that was
the
like
one guy
it was
that has
in-
the
it was in
fashion
the
show
90s,
for children?
And then he left Michigan, went to Pittsburgh, made a comic convention, started the comic convention, became very popular comic convention, and then they eventually caught him. And he had a
Damn.
new, like he went and left like with a woman, so she probably knew. But anyways, I don't know. That's all factual and can be looked up and backdated. So
Damn.
Okay.
yeah,
Backdated.
I remember going to that
Look at
show and just seeing the wife still run it and being like, she knew
Oh, wow.
the entire time. Just saying,
Wait a
Look it up
second.
in
Time the
your
fuck out.
local card catalog.
Is
Yeah.
this the lady that's banned from going to Wizard
don't
World
know.
shows in Pittsburgh?
I doubt it.
I met her, I think.
I don't know who you're going on about. All I know is that some guy
Nice. I
who
don't
started a con,
I mean-
murdered his wife, and
Oh,
yeah,
she
it
died.
happened.
I definitely didn't meet her then.
But no, he has a new wife.
No.
He has a new wife.
You met
is what I'm
you
saying.
met the new wife
doesn't
that
matter.
might have
Point
known.
is, that's
But
it
she
for the
didn't.
Wednesday
I don't know.
Warrior
That's a
thing.
lot.
That's my segment. What's this sleepy spec that I've read so much about on this outline?
This is just some terrible spec that caught my eye like a couple weeks ago. San Diego Comic-Con, there was the first time that I saw this title coming out. Sonic the Hedgehog, Tangle and Whisper #1. Now, by no means am I saying this is going to be the biggest book that you'll ever put your hands on in terms of speculation, but they do have a new series with these 2 characters, so they're obviously invested in them. From what I can find, they are new characters to IDW, I believe, because IDW got the rights to the comic book. They've maybe last year. Now, I will say that I looked up #1, and it was saying that it was the first appearance of Tails, which I don't believe is true. It's probably the first appearance in the IDW series. So don't quote me on like if this is. I don't know anything really about Sonic, but I like these kind of books because they're kind of under the radar in terms of the main comic book collecting community. That's more limited to people who like comic book or video game books. So what I found out through minimal research is the first Tangle is #4 of the IDW series, and there's a 1 in 10 and a 1 in 25 and a second print with the character on the cover. And then the first Whisper is #8, which there's a 1 in 10 variant also for. And these are both female characters, so who knows if what this will mean short term, long term. It's been known about that it was coming out. There was actually a free comic book day version of the comic this year. So I looked up the prices. Nothing's really happening with them, but it's not to say keep an eye out like for $1, $2. Pick them up. I think it'll be worth holding on the long term.
And
these
these characters, though-
this spec.
These characters might appear in the movie. You're thinking,
No, I'm not saying that.
but they could potentially show up. Like Tails is supposed
Sure.
to be in the movie, right? Or
I
What
think
the
so.
side-
yeah.
fuck are you
sidekick?
talking about? I don't even understand what any of these things are. Tangled Tails? What?
how old?
Yeah.
Like, come on, dude! You never played Sonic on Sega?
I got nothing. I'm old. I feel like.
Jeez. It's modern speculation, Nico. Just stick to the Golden Age stuff.
I'm very
And
confused.
this is why it's called speculation, because there's nothing really happening with it now, but might just want to keep an eye out. Find
No, it
them in
makes
the
sense.
dollar bins.
I mean, the last Sonic series ran for like 100-something issues. So if
near 200, I think might have hit 200.
who published that one again? Was it Boom
Sounds right.
or Archie? Maybe
Archie.
maybe it was Archie. Yeah.
Archie.
So if IDW keeps it around and they probably will, unless IDW goes under, which is possible. But I mean, with the movie coming out, there's no way IDW is going to bail on that. So I think that these are all really good long-term plays.
I think the movie, from what we saw of the movie, people are not too excited. So
they're
it could be.
They're changing all the things that people weren't excited about, apparently. So
Yeah, right.
As long as it tells a good story, who cares?
And Jim Carrey's going to be in it, and he's crazy now, so it might be worth just watching the movie to see how crazy he is.
That's a good point.
I guess.
I've got an update from Keith.
Okay.
About who,
Because-
Keith Richards?
well-
He's alive?
No,
Keith Richards isn't alive?
I don't fucking know.
Well,
Or,
I thought
yeah,
you had an
Uncle
update
Keith.
about him.
Uncle Keith the Millennial.
Our prior beloved guest, Keith, indicated
No,
to
that's
me
his name.
he afforded me the spread for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. There are 29 9/8s. Damn, a lot of 9/8s.
Nice. Yeah,
Right.
I would like to go back and see, check the data as to when the first 9/8 was. Because, like I said, it was, for a while, it was thought there wouldn't be one. When did CGC start?
2001, 2002, maybe? Early 2000s?
Okay, so it's going on 20 years.
1946?
1946 sounds right. That was when, yeah.
I don't know, man. Who knows? But yeah, no, I mean...
That was the first year that they started using dry cleaning bags, and that's when the guy was putting his comics in dry cleaning bags. Remember that?
No?
Yeah, that was how they came up with comic book bags. This guy worked at a dry cleaner, or his dad owned a dry cleaner, I think, and he would put his comics in the bags. And
Like that you put shirts in, so like the plastic...
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Because they didn't have comic book bags back then. And I think that's when that'd be called the first CGC, because being that it was a dry cleaner, they were also pressing books back then. So I don't know. I might be off. I may be off on some of the history. I may be off on some of the history.
Some big news that came out
Outrageous.
this week that I guess you tipped me onto was that Marvel's developing a new TV show for ABC.
Dude, I fucking hope it's Kamala Khan.
Oriented. No, wrong.
When-
Because Kevin Feige already said Kamala Khan's going to be in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, if it's Kamala Khan, there will be the
No, it's
angriest
not. It's
comic
not.
book speculators ever. There'll
not.
be
Think
there'll
about this.
be
Think
fucking
it
people
through.
across the United States holding like variant second prince, just butt hurt. Dude.
Think it through, man.
It'll be
Think
the
it through.
fucking end of Kamala Khan. I'm sorry.
Think it through. What has been the biggest character that Jimmy has talked about on this podcast for 2
What
3
is the
months?
character that Marvel keeps pushing? What is the character that has music videos and their own songs? It's obviously going to be Luna Snow. So I don't care. I mean, Agents of Atlas 1 is going to go
I
up
don't think anybody's ever suggested that other than John once in guest in a group message.
because nobody knows what it could be any of the female characters. It could literally be
Could
anything.
be any of them.
It could be Kamala Khan. I don't think it is because Kevin Feige said that she's probably going to be in the movies, but it could be. You're right. But I mean, again, I think it's going to be Luna Snow.
I have no.
I mean, I wouldn't
clue.
put money on it, but
they're apparently just in talks. They have not agreed to anything yet. But the thought is that it would take over because Agents of Shield is going off of ABC.
All jokes aside, isn't it more probable than not that it'll be Moon Girl and Double Dinosaur with the Blackish
What are you talking about?
Yeah, it could
The
very
girl who
well
was
be
in the movie. The girl who had that movie where she was it was big, but it was in reverse.
What, you mean the one from Precious?
What?
No, the girl from Blackish. She had the movie.
No, dude.
Oh no, I thought it was the writer.
production
I thought it was the writer or
Christ.
something for Blackish.
Thank you.
It's somebody from
Jimmy.
Blackish that's like well known.
It was the girl.
Lawrence
That's the
Fishburne's
girl.
team.
I don't think it's Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, John, you're. I
don't know what you're going on about right now. I think it has something to do with Blackish. I haven't looked at
right. They're one and the same. That production company.
Doesn't sound
I
right.
don't know. I
mean, regardless of whether or not it sounds right to you, that is in fact right.
Are you thinking? Wait, are you getting confused thinking that Lawrence Fishburne was in Jurassic Park?
No, just be quiet because
dinosaur?
if we keep talking, he's eventually going to say Anthony Anderson.
Oh, we don't want to go down that road.
What? Kangaroo Jack. See now, what do you mean? Whatever. Look at how confused he is. That's amazing.
Yeah. So the woman who spoke about it said she wouldn't give any details. She said the character would be something brand new, mostly, and that it would fit in the strategy of female-focused superheroes.
Do you know who's brand new, mostly? Luna Snow.
Oh, okay.
I don't even know what's fucking happening.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, let's
brand new. What does
on.
Mostly mean? I feel like there's a key phrase there. Brand new, mostly. I don't know. Just sit on it. Sit on it.
You think it's a team? You think we're gonna get a team?
You mean maybe like a team of agents?
Like Kamala Khan leading the champions?
No.
Oh, yeah. The kid champions with Viv Vision and Sam Alexander Nova.
No.
And it's going to have Brawny Man. Brawny Man was in Champions. We've talked about him a lot, too.
Who fucking knows? The point being, I'm sure that there's other things to talk about.
Yeah, there is.
Great, thanks.
I'm glad that's where you brought us to.
Yeah, anything other than that.
Well, I mean, I think it will be a team, like maybe a team of agents of Atlas. Okay, so earlier today, Tom King, I guess he put on Instagram, he said, I'm working on a little something, and then there's an image of Mr. Miracle 5. Am I right on the issue?
Well, he's writing the New Gods movie.
Yeah, but no, so people are thinking that, like, are jumping on this book, right?
I would assume so. I didn't look. Was that just today that he posted that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was today. I didn't look before the podcast. I assume it's getting all snatched up. But I don't think there's anything... well, no, there is one first appearance in the book, I believe. But it's one issue before the Female Furies. I wouldn't be surprised if he just got confused and posted the wrong issue. That would be amazing. Because he posted the cover to number 5. What if he really meant to post number 6? And then all these people just bought number 5 for no reason.
What if he's just a really slow reader? And he's like, he's only on issue 5.
I finally got around to reading that Jack Kirby series.
Yeah, like there's no message behind it. He's just like he's actually just reading issue 5.
The book I'm reading.
It's like, God damn, I'm glad I never read this before I wrote the.
At least it's better than the Eternals. That shit was so slow.
Yeah, I didn't jump on this, but I did get a key collector alert from it. And I did see some other people posting.
Yeah.
I wish I could say I still read Nick's alerts.
What do you mean? You don't have those push notifications on your phone?
I mean, I don't know, but when I say that I wish that, I don't mean that sarcastically. Like, I wish I had the time to not only read them, but then to push and sell books thereafter.
I like when I get them when
I've been really busy lately.
So, like, the people around me think I'm a busy person because they think I'm getting texts, but I'm really just getting a key collector alert. So, I like that.
Wow.
He improves your social status.
Yeah, around
and acceptability among your peers.
Yeah, my peers have drivers.
And he said that one out in Huck is apparently Millar is working on it still. Which is
that was weird that the Huck thing was somehow clicked into that.
Do you think Comic Tom's sitting on a lot of copies and was like, "Hey, dude, I think I get a Huck alert"? I'm just kidding.
I bought
bad joke. Bad joke.
I bought a bunch of
Bad joke.
What's the superhero one?
Nemesis. Oh, Superior.
No.
Jupiter's Legacy.
Super Crooks. I bought a bunch of
Oh.
Super Crooks #1. You know, like the superheroes that all they
is
do
that
is
cartoon
like
coming out.
I don't know, but I grabbed a bunch of #1s, so hopefully that's happening.
Yeah, I do.
I don't know, all the Mark
There's like a
Miller-
second
whenever
print,
I-
I think.
Whenever I see Mark Miller stuff, I grab it because I mean, you never know. Somebody's gonna. I mean, what Chosen was pushed out this week, right? Finally, it finally started selling well after what, like being optioned for 4 years or 5 years or something.
Yeah.
So-
What it's got they Chosen is the name of the comic, right? Or is it a graphic novel?
Yeah, it's American Jesus.
No, it's a comic.
Allegedly. Oh,
But the show is called
American Jesus. So
Kirby.
it was called American Jesus, is what the show
Thank
is
you,
called.
Jimmy.
It came out from Dark Horse, and then after Miller, I think it was one of Miller's like first creator-owned series.
It
Anyways,
was supposed to be bilingual. Like a bilingual
it stopped
series.
after issue 3, and it wasn't like it could have continued. So it was kind of like it stopped abruptly. And then he brought it to Image, where they published a trade paperback. There's also a Dark Horse trade paperback, but when he brought it to Image, they changed the name to American Jesus. And
But remember, the
then I
TV
think
show
he
was supposed to be
published, like,
bilingual.
I don't know what you're talking about. Then he published like 1 or 2 other series with Image, and then he moved over to the Icon.
There is
I think
some
he's
sort of
talking
fucking
about-
Spanish language.
I think he's talking
element.
about Valkyrie's character in the new Thor movie.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about. Like, who cares?
Bi-
about bilingual. What are you going? What?
That's
what?
not
that the
very
right
Me
term?
Too, bro.
Nothing you're saying makes sense, and I don't think it's accurate.
It is accurate. In fact, it was published on your website in one of the many articles that I wrote for it. Google it. Nevertheless, yeah.
A trailer
No,
came. A trailer came out for Katie Keene. Did you guys watch that?
I did not. Anybody watch
Nico
it?
did.
No.
I skimmed through it because you put it on the outline, and I was like, I don't know what this is. I know the
Keene
name.
is a
Katie
character. Who's
Yeah,
Yeah, remember
last
she's like that Archie character that
Yes.
CW is turning into a series for some reason.
She has
Yeah,
one of the
TV.
fucking most famous robot covers in the Golden Age. The last issue of her series, I think it's like 67, is like $1,000 or more a point.
Startling
because it's
Comics. The one with Bender on the cover.
No,
No.
it's like a graphic robot cover.
It's homage. It's neither here nor there. The point is, yeah. So nobody watched the fucking trailer. It came out. I don't know.
No,
if
you're the one who
anybody-
wrote it down. You should have watched it.
Why do
Um,
I have interest in that in this show?
in Katie Keene.
Yeah. Like, why should I? Like, if you were trying to tell somebody about the character, oh, she's just like a regular chick from Riverdale. Yeah, I already watched that show. I need another one on it. Is that what the premise is? I don't know. I'm asking you. I'll just keep talking until Nico maybe says something. But it's not going to happen, apparently.
I think he has a bunch of Katie
That-
Keene #1s. I think that's what it comes down to.
No,
Well, that's like a really old book, isn't it?
I'd
Yeah.
be game to have a bunch of those fucking Golden Age books, but I don't. The one that I don't have that I want is the one that I'm talking about. That being said, it's already a huge book. Now, do I think that this TV show could potentially drive interest to these books? I don't know. Hard to tell. Is it interesting for me? Absolutely. So we'll see.
Okay. We'll see. Nico, you mentioned that East to West is dead officially for his
Yeah,
TV
no,
Amazon show?
Yeah, thanks to whomever was kind enough to point that out in the comment section to the weekend update. There was it wasn't really an announcement, but Hickman indicates that the Amazon deal fell through, that he's attempted to do television, written pilots a number of different times, not necessarily for this property, but that he and Amazon weren't able to see eye to eye on this particular series. So the question is it time to dump your books or grab more or what? For me,
It's time to buy the variant.
depends on the price tag.
Yeah.
But maybe.
Good point. You're a
Um,
shrewd speculator.
I mean,
Nico.
people really did love that book. I don't know if
Well, and it's ongoing, right? Like they're publishing a new issue here soon.
I think it stopped. I think that they have like a
I'm not
stop
sure.
number that they're stopping at. I'm not
I
sure
liked it.
what it
I
is.
read
Though.
maybe the first 15 issues. I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah,
good.
a lot of people like it. I know when it came out, there were a lot of people behind it, so I could see it eventually getting optioned again. I could see it coming back, but I'm not sure if it will ever see the levels it saw.
It was speculated on pretty hard to number one.
Absolutely.
Because
Everybody
of the
saw that
creative
book
team.
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
That being said, it's now in dollar bins.
Well,
It is now, you're saying, or it's not?
Fuck yeah.
It is in dollar bins?
Absolutely.
I've never
pick up
seen
the
that in
first-
dollar bins.
Yeah,
I
I'd pick
bought
up the
it
first
in
print
dollar
for
bins.
$1.
How
I'd
many?
pick up
How
the
many?
first print.
Did you leave any behind?
Was it the first print, the green cover?
Did you
Once
leave any
again,
behind?
Once again, we're getting nothing. Just
Are you
keep
having
talking.
a seizure?
Just keep talking to fill up the time.
No, look, his eyes are moving. I think.
Are we talking to me?
What? Who else?
I
will
thought
be
fucking John was like, I picked those up in dollar bins too, and then you were like, did you
No, he
leave
was
any
asking
behind?
you a question.
Oh
What?
my God.
What is?
Yeah,
happening?
I grabbed them from fucking dollar bins.
What?
Dude,
I don't know.
What
this
a-
dude is staring straight ahead.
Probably
Uh,
I hid my show boxes. They were in there.
oh
Like,
God!
either a run of East and West, you know? If I get an opportunity, will I grab that variant? Like, I mean, I don't know what my buy-in would be. It's not a $200 buy, obviously, but I might
For
pay
that
$100.
variant, I thought that thing went up to like $1,000 in 9.8 at one point.
Yeah,
Maybe
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I brought it to shows and had it at like $800 Canadian. So
in 9.8 or just raw.
no, just raw. I mean, nobody wanted it, so it's probably
Right.
overpriced to high heaven. But if I thought I could get 800 Canadian, I imagine it was selling above 1,000 in 9.8 at some point. Who knows? I have a few of those too, so it's kind of upsetting. Something else that's kind of
Jimmy.
upsetting. Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah, go. Yeah. Well,
Something else that's
I
kind
wanted
of
to ask
upsetting
you
that I personally don't
about
care about
something.
at all.
Jimmy, I wanted to ask you
Is
about something.
that Tom Taylor is apparently killing Peter Parker in Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man 12.
That's what he says. I like Tom King. He's not Tom King. Tom Taylor. He wrote like most of the. I think he wrote the whole X-23 before they rebooted it this most recent time. He's writing Deceased. I think he's a good writer. I don't know anything about this Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. It's one of those offshoots that I have really no interest in reading. But
Video game
he's
character
no, it's in continuity.
or? Okay.
I was reading it. I did a little looking today, and at least if you go by what the Wikia says, it is Peter Parker from Earth 616. So it'd be continuity. It takes place, in the Marvel Universe Earth. What the solicitation for 12 said was, or what Tom King said, is that Peter Parker is already dead. I don't know if 11 came out yet, but it's weird the way that he stated it, like they're searching for how he died or who murdered him or something. I don't know. It seemed really odd. Basically, what I think it is that there's already been a cover that's come out for when Mary Jane is going to have her own series, and I don't know if they're doing variants or whatnot.
Well, there's an Archer one, right? That everybody seems to be clamoring for.
Mary Jane. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. But I think she's on the cover of Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man coming up after this issue or something, too. I'm not positive. I think it's kind of setting up for like an alternate reality where she becomes Spider-Man. And I'm assuming that's what else could her own series be about? She's just a normal person. Does she just wander around and oh no, don't go down this road.
What was Jimmy Olsen about?
No, I couldn't tell you. Nobody read it.
He was Superman's best friend, and he had wacky adventures.
And so was Lois Lane.
She could have wacky
Superman's
adventures,
girlfriend.
and then
Superman's
out of
girlfriend,
nowhere,
Lois Lane. What was that one about? Nico bought some Superman's girlfriend Lois Lane books this weekend.
yeah.
Or
So
one or
it's just
two.
I always buy the bondage covers.
Weirdo.
I mean,
they would just be telling the same story except from her perspective now. So
Could
I
be.
mean, it would be cool to see a Spider-Man story from like a passerby's perspective. I mean, that's why I really like the Ben
Probably.
Ulrich Ben Ulrich issues when they were narrated by him of Spider-Man. He was the reporter for Daily Planet before they killed him off with lung cancer. But I don't know. It was good.
Okay.
Who knows?
You say lung cancer, I say, boy, a cigarette sounds good right now.
I agree.
But I don't know. I don't really understand the premise for this comic and why they're pumping it up. But I'm sure it's nothing that'll be in regular continuity.
You think she's going to be Spider-Man? Okay, that's possible. It's possible.
I mean, they have some covers already with her with the mask on, I think. But it could just be like variant month or whatever the hell. I don't know. Marvel just does anything now.
Didn't they show like a new Canadian Spider-Man in some book that came out today or this week?
That was only covered in the Canadian press.
I saw it on Facebook where like
Much
Spider-Man
like
has
Australian
like
and Canadian
he has like a
price
Canadian thing on his chest or something. I don't know. It's weird.
I don't know. You keep talking about these Canadian shields and Canadian Spider-Man and like.
What did I talk about? Canadian shields.
Yep.
On that Age of Darkness or whatever the hell that book is, Dark Age.
There's him and the gray guy that's like
Oh, yeah, you're right.
conservative,
Okay.
but I'm not a Republican, but I'm conservative. What's his name? Jordan Peterson. Those are like the only two Canadians I know. Oh, and Rob Ford. I know about him too.
He's dead.
Oh,
Podcast is taking a weird turn.
Jeez, dude.
And Jim Comics.
Jeez, dude.
Four. Those are like the four horsemen of Canada for me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jimmy
would be Ric Flair.
Oh,
I know Nico's getting excited this week because Gus Fring is rumored to possibly be Norman Osborn. And
I'm just excited.
I don't know. Did they even say what it would be in? Just said he'd be a major character, right?
I mean, I believe this rumor, like, I believe in the fucking Easter Bunny, but...
Thunderbolts Norman Osborn?
Why? Yeah.
No, Dark Avengers Norman Osborn.
Who joins the Thunderbolts?
True, Jimmy. That is how that plot develops over time. Nevertheless, I don't really buy it. Do you? I mean, it sounds wonderful. I got a guy trying to return a ASM 37 he's been holding hostage from me for some time now. I'd like to get back so I can resell it on eBay.
Just give him a little bit more time. He needs to get the pages out that he needs for his copy to make it complete.
Oh my God.
He's waiting for some new staples to come in from eBay. Bronze Age size staples.
Is it brutal? eBay is just so brutal. It really is. But anyway, yeah, I mean, dude, I love that character. What's his name? His actual name? Anybody? Polo.
I can't remember. Yeah, Gus Fring's from
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
Los Pollos Hermanos.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love that actor, dude. He's wonderful.
He's great.
If like that fantastical sort of story of like Norman Osborn somehow could be true, and it was fucking Gus Fring, oh my word.
But I also read something today that he's rumored for the Batman movie too. Which is really odd.
And then like Brother Voodoo.
That
maybe?
website though was not a one that I would rely on.
No.
That I read about the Batman stuff. But why is he just all of a sudden coming up?
Yeah,
that's what made me think it was fake.
What about Dr. Voodoo?
Yeah, he'd be good for that.
Jimmy, you're making a face.
I wouldn't say that would be a major character though.
It could be depending on how they use it.
Benedict Cumberbatch is like, I'm out. Yeah, he's a major character then.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You guys got any other great ideas?
No, I don't even know who that actor is. But
you never watched Breaking Bad?
Yeah, dude.
No, No, I didn't watch Game of Thrones. I didn't watch Breaking Bad. You know what I'm really happy about now that I have Amazon Prime and I finished watching The Boys.
Change your life.
And I'm really disappointed that nobody told me this. You know, Amazon Prime has some of the greatest TV shows ever on their catalog.
I can't wait.
Don't talk about Jack Ryan.
No, I'm not going to. Don't worry. All five seasons of the original Surreal Life TV show. I'm talking about the Ron Jeremy, house with Vanilla Ice, and then of course every season of Flavor of Love, every season of the Bret Michaels one. I mean,
Bad
it's
Girls
amazing.
of L.A. or something.
I haven't even checked if they had Bad Girls Club, but if they
Basketball Wives or something. All right.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Speaking of boys, Jimmy, give me a background on that Herogasm miniseries they did. That they're talking
they did a
about.
bunch of miniseries. I didn't read all of them. I only read the ones that were like really about Huey and Butcher Baker, Candlestick Maker, and I felt those were really like hard to get through. So I didn't read Herogasm, but Herogasm had like a bunch of variant covers for the first one. Like they had negative art and they had Dynamic Forces variants. So there's some really cool covers for that one. So is that what people are saying?
Herogasm the character, or is he the? Or is that just the name of the series?
I thought it was just the name of the series, and it talked about like.
I'm pretty sure you're right because
I'm not sure offhand.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the thing with the boys was like eventually it just became the same thing over and over again, and it just became very repetitive, like Garth Ennis usually gets. So, I
looked it up on Comic Vine. It said like the characters that have the most appearances, it's all the people from the boys. There is no Herogasm character. I just wanted to verify. I figured you would know. Yeah, I guess the writer said he figured out a way to do that for season 3, that storyline. If they get picked up for season 3, obviously that's like a long way out at this point.
They will.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
I think that's all we had though for this week. I could be wrong. Am I wrong?
If Nico wanted to talk about any books.
I mean, I think our listeners will be okay. Unless you
want Matt Baker stuff, though, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about this real quick?
Just hit the Matt Baker ones, yeah.
All right. Let me make sure that I'm going to do this right. So 3 big romance books in live auctions on eBay. August 4th, there's a VF copy of Teenage Romances number 4. It sells for $1,200. That same day, Cinderella Love number 27, which is a pretty iconic cover, and I apologize that we don't have a visual for it. Again, it's Cinderella Love 27, moves for $1,600. And again, Teenage Romances number 43, the following day sells for $1,500. So when you're out there looking in antique shops, even at shows, be cognizant of the fact that people pay enormous amounts of money for Matt Baker art, that he did a number of really iconic covers to romance books, some that are more well-known, others that are less known. But they're out there, and it's worth, particularly when you're out in the wild, to take the time to just look up the books, okay? Because you may stumble onto something that can make you a few quick $1,000.
I like the sound of that. What would you recommend though? Looking for those books or Mad Magazine with Batman on the cover at Ollie's?
I'm going to pass on the Mad Magazine, although Jimmy likes the Mad Magazine.
I was just saying that you should go to Ollie's, and apparently if they're selling what, packs of 5 for $5.99, and the top one was that Batman one. You said, oh, but which ones are selling well? That Batman one sells for like $15 or $20, so you'd make your money back on that one.
I'll have to check it out. They just opened an Ollie's by me.
Or you should just go there and buy them all for me and send them to me.
Oh, that's a possibility.
Yeah.
Let me go through them first and figure out the ones worth money, then I'll send the rest to you.
Sounds like you. Okay, well, anyways, I think that's it for our podcast tonight. I thank you for joining us. This was our first time using this new streaming software. So, I don't know. It was fun. Hopefully soon we'll end up on iTunes. Hopefully that happens at some point. So thanks for watching. This will
and we'll have
14.
Theme music
and better visuals.
I did say there would be theme music. I don't know how I'll do that, but that might happen eventually.
And more free T-shirts as long as you guys comment.
Well, yeah, I mean, just keep watching our stuff.
And I need T-shirts.
And don't forget to like the video and to subscribe to our channel. Thanks again. We'll catch you later, and stay tuned to comicbookspeculation.com
You can
for
send Jimmy
updates.
t-shirts for me.
Okay, bye now.